It is certainly so good to be in your space with another very exciting JNSBL Lifeline Coach Series. Haven't you been enjoying though? Haven't you been benefiting? I mean, last week we gave you the farmers and how they have been surviving COVID-19. Oh my goodness, I have learned so much, and I know that you've been benefiting from this, and therefore the Lifeline continues. But we're talking about the fact that just in case you missed it, and you shouldn't have, we did beauty first week, now the farmers, and this week, look at how we're going to expand your horizon with Jamaica Small Business Loan. But if you missed it, guess what? It's great. You can go to any of their social media platforms. Anyway, I do mean like all of them. So do I need to start saying Facebook, Instagram, Twitter? No, I don't. But you just make sure that you hit them up, you go to it, you learn, you grab this opportunity to be better during COVID-19, so that afterwards you are definitely running like Bolt and Shelley and all these runners, because you did all of that hashtag coping with COVID, hashtag people first, like Jamaica Small Business Loans. So where do you go? JN Small Business Loans on any of the social media platforms. I'm just excited that they've been doing this. What a great social responsibility that this company, we're talking about the #1 small business microfinancing company, has done to make sure that during this time you're not depressed, but during this time you are planning. And did I say planning? Woohoo! We are going to tourism, and who doesn't like hotel? Well, I know we all do. So right now, today, we want to say welcome to set, Mr. Peter Campbell.
Thank you very much for
having me. How are you doing?
I'm great, fabulous.
Great is a good start, because that's what we want to make sure that you are during COVID-19. Now, you are the owner of the famous Golf View Hotel. Where is that?
It's located in central Jamaica, Mandeville to be exact. 5.5 Caledonia Road.
That's right. But you also brag, I think perhaps the largest golf course, the first golf course in Jamaica. But that didn't help you so much during Corona, COVID-19, did it?
All right, just to be clear, the Golf View Hotel does not own the golf course.
Okay.
However, we're neighbors, and of such we do a lot of joint venture partnership.
Right.
It's actually the oldest and
Yes.
personally one of the best
Yes.
in
the most prestigious in the Caribbean region.
Correct.
So congratulations to you on that partnership.
Thank you very
But what about your partnership with Jamaica Small Business Loans? I mean, how has that helped you through what we could have called a major depression, major stress or stressor of 2020?
Correct. All right, so we benefited from the Smart Climate Loan.
Okay.
And I thought that was very fitting for us. When we acquired the Golf View Hotel, we immediately set out on a number of strategies just to uplift and renovate the hotel, one of which was to incorporate smart technology throughout the hotel, and also to go green as much as possible. Jane was integral in this, because we learned of the climate loan and we approached them, and they were very, very receptive. We got the relevant information in a timely manner, and the process was very easy.
That's important.
Yes, it's very important. And they made the process seamless, and we got information even when we were overseas. And that to me showed that Jane will go the extra mile for its clientele. And the loan came through just in time for COVID.
Yeah.
I remember the loan officer calling me and said, he thinks that it is integral and important that we still go ahead and access this loan. It was like...
You didn't think that was suicidal?
yeah.
So what changed that mindset?
He convinced me, and his rationale made sense, and that also allowed us during the close down to go ahead with a lot of necessary renovations.
Smart.
So we capitalize on the downtime.
So Golf View is ready after COVID-19 because it used time wisely.
Definitely.
What about in terms of some of the changes, the new norms? What are those, and how difficult have those been?
Well, this entire period has been difficult, but again, we always take the approach to focus on the positives.
Yes.
So we have done a lot of renovation, one of which is to change the entire frontage of the hotel. So in terms of curb appeal, we are now up. The entrance, as I said, the security posts, and just the auditorium, or main auditorium, because we boast the largest conference facility in central Jamaica. So we upgraded our main auditorium, make it bigger, and again, just more friendly for even persons accessing using the facility during COVID-19 period. So again, the loan came in handy, and it has allowed us to do a lot of what we needed to do in the downtime. So now that we're open, we're in a much better position to serve our guests.
What have you done differently?
For this period, we were able to do a lot of windows and doors, larger openings, install proper AC now that we are again going green. So we did a lot of inverter ACs. So in terms of the lobby area, we expanded, did some soft renovations, similarly for our restaurants. So all the protocols outlined by the government, we are now able to adhere to those easily.
Didn't that cost you quite a bit though, because it's a major part of the investment, and how the Jamaica Small Business Loans fit into that?
Yes, it's a very costly undertaking, and we knew that from the get-go. But again, to have these measures in place puts us in a better position to serve, puts us in a better position for our staffing, and we also understand and realize that we have a civic and social responsibility to make our property safe for anyone visiting us. So it's just something that we had to do, and we're glad that we had the opportunity to do so.
Truth and the only truth. Truth and only truth.
Yes.
Do you think Gulfview Hotel, #coping with COVID, did as best as you could, or there's some things that you think you could have done better?
Under the circumstances, I think we did an excellent job. Definitely there would be more that we would love to do.
You want more loan?
Definitely more loan. But again, it comes back to being fiscally responsible, because outside of the renovation, there are other things that needed to be done or has to be done. So we have to bear all the factors in mind, and not just focus on one area. So it's a broad approach that we have to take, and we have employed that approach, and we are doing very fine.
What's your advice to other persons in industry such as yourself? What are some of the things? Can you give us like a list of things based on your experiences so far that you would advise them to make sure they pay keen attention to?
Be resilient. Don't focus on the negative. Use the downtime to capitalize and to study and to be resourceful and to study the market in depth. Be mindful also of your staff, be mindful of your guests, be mindful as Jamaica, as Jamaica as a whole. And along with the government, know that each industry and each industry player has a role to play in keeping our borders safe, in keeping our citizens safe. And that's the approach I would advise everyone to take.
God bless you, and wish for you all the very best. And we're so excited to come and see all the newness.
Please do.
At Gulfview Hotel. But here's somebody who takes her clients seriously, and she does it like her life depends on it. Communications Client Services Manager Kimberly Atkinson. It's great to see you again and to have you on set.
Thank you so much, Jenny.
So we're talking about the resort industry, the tourism industry. I mean, what are some of the recommendations you have generally for the operators within the same?
All right. Generally, as Peter would have shared, just be resilient. But also taking the opportunity to take a wider view, and I know we're talking about coping with COVID now, but just to advise our players in the tourism sector that there is a wide suite of products available specifically for you. Yes. So Peter spoke about a climate smart loan, and that's at 4%. Yes, I did say 4%. There's also a 0% loan for any energy efficiency.
No, 0% is not a loan.
Yes, yes.
That means they're giving away money.
No, you have to pay
Tell
it back.
me about that. We're dying to hear.
So once it is that you're in the tourism sector and you want to implement a facility that will be energy efficient, so Peter spoke about changing out the windows, and that of course helps with the airflow. Lighting, so you use less lighting, so you have a different type of space, or the windows are wider so that the light flows better. So once it is that you want to implement a project that will make your business energy efficient, that's the facility for you at 0% in the tourism sector. We also have what we call our 5x5x5 loan. It's a $5 million loan at 5%, and again, for the tourism sector. So I don't want persons to feel, yes, we have the solution for you if it is that you're in a challenging situation due to COVID-19, but we have a number of other facilities.
So no need to be jealous, because I'm feeling jealousy right now. So no need to be, we just need to call Jamaica National Small Business Loans, JN Small Business Loans, to find out what's the loan for you based on the products and what it is. Because you had great loans for the beauty industry, great loans for the farmers as well. But there's this 9% loan. So there's good so let's do it now. You gave me a 0%, you gave me a 4%,
a 5%,
a 5%,
and we're at the 9%.
No, we're at the 9%. Talk to us about that.
And so that is the recovery business loan that we have, which was one of the facilities that we created specifically for this COVID period. And as you already know, at 9%, you're able to borrow the facility up to 8 years, 8 million. And again, it's specifically targeting those businesses who would have been hard hit and probably want to be pivoting, making some changes, some adjustments. Or what you found is in COVID, the business is no longer one that is viable, and so you probably have to be looking at a different direction.
Yes.
And so the facility is something that is available for them to do that. And as we are on the point of the 8 million, I want our viewers to also know that you can borrow as minimum as $30,000.
What would you do with that though, in a business? Buy more here?
Listen, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Do you know our fruit men? Do you buy apples from them?
Oh, bag juice too, bag juice.
Bag juice, peanut.
Yes.
We have kids going to school, those vendors. Those are persons who you may not see $30,000 to be a big deal, but that $30,000 can stock a cart.
Yes.
And so we
and they can get that from you.
Yes. And I want our viewers to know that for as little bit as $30,000 up to 8 million for the suite of products we have for COVID, you're able to approach us so that we can assist you with making your business resilient, or again for stock, that type of a thing.
All right, so you know we're very excited about the fact that you are definitely putting people first, right? So let's talk first about the resort industry. How do they access this through, well, from you? And then the handcart man, the little person who wants to get big from this 30,000, it's not a problem to get 8 million if he has to get there. How do they access this?
All right, and the last time I would have shared, the first step is really to make contact with your preferred financial partner, JN Small Business Loans. So you reach out to us using the numbers we have. Once that step has been taken, our experts actually take the opportunity to have a telephone conversation with you. One, to find out the need, the amount that you want to borrow. We do our site visits, and again, we are very informal in our approach to assessment. So as you've rightly said, they can come in or we go out to them,
yes.
And that's one of our best practices, going out, finding business, meeting with our clients, and ensuring that the assessment is done. As you can appreciate, that approach is different from a more formal type of approach.
Right.
We're talking about our hoteliers, manufacturers, and so depending on the amount they want to borrow, depending on the size of the business, it will take a more formal type of approach. So we're talking about financials, all of that. Of course, that would not be required for a handcart man. So we do have different approach for different sectors.
Good. The sector is a very wide one because it has so many players, from those who are employed to those who actually provide the services and the support for the sector, which is why there's a cry to reopen that aspect of it. How far and wide do you go in terms of assisting individuals within that sector, the resort sector?
And that is how the COVID Lifeline personal loan applies. So if persons were actually in the sector, got laid off, or they're on a break, wage freeze, that type of a thing,
yes.
There is a facility that we have available for them to access to take them through that time.
Awesome.
So we do have a solution, and again, we thought about it, we gave a lot of thought to it, and we again noticed that there is a wide span of persons that will need our support. Hence the 30,000 to the 8 million,
yes.
But also putting in the mix that personal loan aspect to it to assist persons who are actually in the sector or who would have lost their jobs due to the COVID pandemic.
Hashtag #1 microfinance company in Jamaica. Very huge, very tall. It's very competitive because now people chasing #1. You always got to chase the winner though. Talk to us in terms of right now during this time, what do you want people to take from this JNSBL Lifeline Coach episodes or the series, because it's been a very powerful series. What are the 5 things, if it is you can go there, just talk at the top of your head, that you want them to never forget from the series?
I want them to remember and have top of mind that Jane Small Business Loan stands ready to support you whatever level you are at in your business. I remember my experience with Mr. Campbell and Mrs. Campbell, where we took the opportunity, even though it would seem as though, you know, it may not happen, and we worked with them to ensure that the facility came through. And I want that to resonate with our viewers, that we stand ready to support you whatever phase you are at in your journey. I'm also saying to them, be prepared for change.
Yes.
And not only be prepared for change, but be creative in how you respond to change.
Yes.
What we're going to find in this period is that a lot of businesses may not survive because they're thinking that it's going to go back to normal. It's not going to go back to normal. We have to be thinking about new ways, new strategies. And even before we sat here to speak, Mrs. McClymont, Campbell, and Peter, we spoke about what would be some new emerging businesses. And even as financial institutions, we have to now be thinking about how we're going to be ahead of the game, ensuring that we're able to facilitate these new businesses that will be spawned. But I really want to also encourage our viewers as Jamaicans. We continue to be strong, and I know that we'll be stronger even after this. And you'll be even stronger when you make JN Small Business Loans your financial partner.
Communications, client services manager. I want a loan, but my loan is to increase her paycheck. Because she has certainly reached me. And if she reached me from right down here, when a woman feels it, you know she has reached you. Effective and caring, and we're just so proud of you. We wish you long life. We wish you greatness. May it be beyond you've ever imagined, Gulfview Hotel in Mandeville, because you've taken on this new challenge with new norms right in the middle of this. But how good that you have such a great partner who cares and will never ever leave you without that partnership. It's not just Mrs. Campbell, it's Mrs. JN Small Business Loans. When we get back, it's going to be very interesting. How about if it is that we ensure that every dollar in your pocket makes you more money? How so? Stand back. So I want to say welcome back to JNSBL Lifeline Code Series, and how life-changing it has been, and it continues to be, because we're not done. We know you want to know how you can make money work for you. No, does not make sense. It's not just about working hard, and it's about working smart. And here to tell us how to do just that is the AVP Sales and Client Services JN Fund Managers Limited, the beautiful Peter Gay Miller Walker. How are you?
I am well, Jenny.
You walk into a big moment.
Yes.
Hashtag coping with COVID. Hashtag
yes.
people first. How do you fit into all of this hashtag though?
Well, as a part of the JN group, we want to be the holistic approach. We want to ensure that persons are able to come to us for anything at all, and we're able to assist them. So JN Fund Managers is the investment arm of the JN group. So that's where we come in, helping persons to understand that they can invest, but how it is they can invest.
Yeah, but it's so redundant though, because it's not for the little man, this is for Gulfview Hotel and the big man with this big corporation. I mean, seriously though.
Not at all.
Not true?
That is not the case at all. I can give you an example.
Yes.
Do you remember the IPO last year for
several.
Wigton Wind Farm?
Oh, Wigton, yes.
What was the minimum you started with? $1,000. Those days don't exist anymore. You can start with smaller amounts, but they just have to make sense for you, the investor.
Beautiful. So,
Yes.
and even the handcart man,
Everybody.
how do they know though what these opportunities are? That's the problem. Because when you speak to individuals about what there is or what is there, how do they know they can come to you for that?
And that's why we have series like these. So we introduce it to persons. We're on social media, but not everybody necessarily has access. But you can walk into our offices at any point in time during our working hours, and we can have discussions with you. If you want us to come to you, we can do so. It's something that we do all the time.
What's hot on the list? if it is that we're supposed to think about that, the average Joe or Jane, because they're not leaving us out, what would be like at least you say, do you know we have this? Do you know we have that? Give me some of those.
So we have our mutual fund products. Now, mutual funds are investments that allows you and I to invest smaller amounts in many different types of assets. When we say assets, we mean stocks, we mean bonds, we mean real estate. So you can take a 50,000 Jamaican dollars and you can invest in something that normally you wouldn't be able to do on your own. And we have 6 different type of funds that do so. And like I said, $10,000 or 50,000 Jamaican dollars just to start.
What would you suggest that entrepreneurs do to begin investing? I mean, let's take for example, Gulf View Hotel. They're expanding, they're new in the business, but they want to make sure they make impact fast. What are some of those tips you would give them?
Now, one of the things you have to always do, you have to always ensure that your book is ready. When we're talking about book, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Exactly. Your finances have to be in order. You have to ensure that, especially now during this pandemic, you will have more expenses than you will have income. So you have to ensure that you mitigate your expenses. That's the first part. You also have to ensure, and this is something that persons don't necessarily always know what to do. When we ask about what is your objective, what's your investment objective? I don't know. I want to put away some money, and that's basically it. But when we have the discussions with you, we sit down and figure out what really you want these monies to do for you. So that's one. The second one is to find out how long it is you want to invest these funds for. Everybody wants to make a quick buck, but that's not always the case in investing. You have to stay the route, follow your financial plan, follow that roadmap so that you can exceed your financial goals. And then we also need to know what sorts of risk you're willing to take with your money. That's very important.
That's key.
Exactly. You have to be comfortable with anything at all you're investing in, and you have to understand what it is also.
Would you advise a new business, again I'm going to Gulf View, or individuals who are new to the idea to do so during this time? Invest.
It is possible. It is possible. Where you can afford to, it is possible. Now, once you've analyzed, because the needs of the business is great, the needs of you, the individual, is also great. Once you've analyzed all the information and you see, we won't necessarily call it excess, because excess funds don't exist right now. What we will say, these are funds that are maybe not necessarily needed at this point in time, because you have varying different time periods for investing. You have short term, you have medium term, you have long term. Short term, a year or less. Medium term, over a year. Long term, 5 years or more. So these are funds that you can set aside. Now, let's say you have funds, the tourism market has been slowly being reopened, right? Persons still fear traveling. However, a lot of Jamaicans are doing what we call staycation.
Yes.
So you do have persons who are coming in. Now, there are certain expenses, for example, your loan payments. A lot of financial institutions like JN are giving moratoriums on loan payments. Now, if you're able to take this moratorium for 3 months, that means that you can put away these monies for 3 months, and you can possibly earn on these, even if it's even $1. If you had it under your bed or just sitting down, you wouldn't have earned anything.
Yes.
But you put these monies aside, it can do something for you. Something is better than nothing.
What about in terms of percent of profit? How would you advise? Because now you're going into something good. People are hoarding. People are hiding the monies.
Exactly. No,
literally hiding the monies, but which is not smart. Because as you say, you're not even getting $1 from hoarding and hiding.
Correct.
Exactly.
What's the percent of the sum you're hoarding that you should invest?
So the first thing is, persons, like you said, they're fearful because of the unknown.
Yes.
COVID comes with a lot of unknowns. Who knows? We may not even have seen half of what COVID can do.
Yes.
We still are having imported cases, so we still really don't know. However, as it pertains to the percentages, we can't give a percentage just like that. Again, we cater to individual scenarios and your circumstance. So I won't necessarily say to you as the Gulf View person that you should invest 20% of the company's profits.
Correct.
I won't say that, because you, the individual who is investing, is separate from Gulfview that is
Correct.
investing. So I need to know what your circumstances are, and I also would need to know what the circumstances of Gulfview Hotel is before I can make a recommendation. But something should be put down for investments.
One of the things that I hate about investment is you don't know when to cash in. And the cash in is where you benefit. A number of financial institutions have been found wanting where that is concerned. How do you monitor your clients doing so well that you can say to them, hello, now is an opportunity to make sure that the return on investment is doubled? Are you one of those who do the right thing? Can I depend on you to do the right thing?
So what
the money doesn't just sit there like you could on that bed?
What I can promise you is that JN Fund Managers, we ensure that we educate our clients. Some persons sometimes think, oh, this is spam, you know, but we try to give them information on a regular basis. And outside of that, it's a relationship.
Yes.
It's you and I.
Yes.
Not us, not everybody else. It's you and I versus you and I. So your lifeline, your investment objective, your timeline is within another 5 years.
Right.
We haven't reached 5 years. So you're still within that path. You're along that path for your financial goal. Now, there are opportunities that are available to be taken advantage of. And that's why when we do our research that we send out to our clients, especially as it pertains to stocks, we will definitely have, this is what you should buy, this is what you should sell, and this is what you should hold. And this gives you an opportunity to take advantage of gains or profits that you would have made on your investment. So yes, it's a relationship. And it also means that you, the investor, have some homework to do.
Yes. A lot of it.
So you don't blindly invest either.
Correct.
You need to do your research and you need to know exactly what is being offered, understand and be comfortable. Don't just let me tell you, oh, you can get 11% on your investment. Why can I get 11% in this climate? What is this? Explain it to me. What does it mean? What would my money have to do in order for me to get there? Am I comfortable with doing that? If that's the case, then go ahead.
Gulfview, Mr. Campbell,
Yes, ma'am.
it's an opportunity for you to gain and to make sure that there is return quickly on your investment, which is the new acquisition of Gulfview.
Correct.
Would you take that risk
Definitely
to invest?
would. Definitely would. We believe in investing and investing wisely. As she said earlier, being educated as to what is out there and what are the different offerings, and so that you can make an informed decision. And we definitely believe in that approach.
It sounds like we're all ready to cope with COVID. So hashtag coping with COVID is definitely real. I want to thank you so much. AVP, you're talking Miller Walker. Don't you leave off Mr. Walker's name. Peter Gay Miller Walker, you've been wonderful. You've given us so much to think about. I can actually hear the wheels of the minds turning and turning. Turns out, how do I make money work for me? It's too sad that so many persons have their money just sit in the bank because you're afraid of people snatching it and robbing it, but then you rob yourself of the opportunity to make that money work for you. If I were you, I'd call JN Small Business Loans and ask them how to get to fund manager. But you want to make sure JN Fund Managers, you just go straight, you just find you on the same platform, or the JN Small Business Loans can send you to JN Fund Managers. How do we get to you to make sure we get into investment?
So we're on all our social media platforms. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. And you just type in JN Fund Managers. We have our own website. It's jnfunds.com. And you can also get our information from the JN Bank website, because like I said, we're a part of a group. So all the information is there, ready and available. And we're located at 2 Belmont Road in New Kingston.
It's a wise person who makes sure that you use all of this adversity to build opportunities. And here we're giving you a wonderful series to be just that, to be ready, not just during Corona and COVID, but after that. People are wondering, oh my goodness, did it work for you like the hurricane? Because it's another hurricane in our lives. You want to make sure you are on all the social media platforms, because you want to make sure you get to JN Small Business Loans. So they are on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, IG, you name it, and it's so easy. It is at JN Small Business Loans. Pluralize that, put the S on the loan, and you will get home to another opportunity. You want to make sure you call the number on your screen. If it is that you're not into the whole heap of social media, no worry, because JN Small Business Loan is about making sure there's accessibility and accessibility. So you want to make sure that you gain access to that as well. We're talking about the fact that today you've learned so many great things. You have green loan, what do you call it?
Climate change.
Climate change, go green loan.
Right.
You can make your window wider, do all these things. Get sunshine, get solar, and you get money for that. Hello, we hear that you have 0% loan and them say it is not giveaway. We still don't understand how we go pay you something with a 0%. We learned that today. You learn that you can borrow as low as $30,000, regardless of the industry you're in, to as much with this wonderful COVID loan at $8 million. Wherever you are on that stratosphere, that line, they're going to take care of you in this caring atmosphere. I want to commend JN Small Business Loans that you get it right, because you hashtag put people first. It sounds political, but it's economical. And you want to make sure you are part of that, because we're talking about its life opportunities, its loan opportunities, and loan possibilities, because there's a possibility that you could be better because you listened, because you went to the hashtag, because you went to that platform, because you called that number. It is a great possibility that you could be better post-COVID. Thank you for making it another wonderful JNSBL Lifeline Coach Series.